Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite tips and tricks video. In today's video, I want to make a tips and tricks video to talk about how to be a Fortnite god and how to get better at the game in Season 5, because a lot has changed from Season 4, the end of it, to the start of Season 5, even though time-wise it hasn't been so long, because of the meta completely switching with the SMGs, with the shotguns, and everything else in this game. A lot of stuff has changed, and that's what I want to cover in today's video. If you guys don't already know, I've been doing giveaways and giving away the Battle Pass or V-Bucks codes for people that already have the Battle Pass to celebrate the start of Season 5. I'll show my messages with some of the latest winners up on the screen. These are winners from like the past day or two, and basically all you have to do if you want a chance to win, I've been giving them out on YouTube, and I've also been giving them out on Twitter via the YouTube comment section, and also on my Twitter feed, of course. And basically, if you want a chance to enter this, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel. If you're not subscribed, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment down below saying what console or what device you play Fortnite on, and then I would also appreciate, it's not required, but I would appreciate if you guys could drop a like and support the video. That would be absolutely awesome. So basically a giveaway for my subscribers to get people the battle passes and stuff like that, because the support has been absolutely insane. We're closing in on 450,000 subscribers. It's an absolute blessing. I just want to say thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to keep growing and hit that 500,000 mark hopefully sometime soon. It's just been absolutely amazing, and that's about it. Let's get right into it, okay? So a lot has changed, right? I do tips and tricks videos quite a bit. It's sort of my bread and butter, I guess you could say, on this channel. Look at this guy. I don't know what he was doing. But basically, I want to talk about in this video, cover the big changes to start Season 5. Now, most of the game is the same, but the first thing we need to talk about is there's new landing spots, right? Anarchy Acres is gone. It's now Lazy Links. Moisty Mire is completely gone for Paradise Palms, and a lot of stuff has changed. Now, how did those affect the game? The first thing I'll notice is that it's made the game where the early game at Tilted isn't as packed as it used to be, and people are a bit more spread out because of the fact that Paradise Palms really just seems to take up so much portion of the map. And while not as many people go there as they did the first day, people are still going to that area, which takes people away from the center of the map. That's one thing, is that Lazy Links, while it's a new area, people are going there, it is near the center of the map. Paradise Palms is completely pulling people away from the map, and that's one thing that definitely does change up how the game is played. But there's not too much that we can do about that as a gamer. You just have to be aware that people are going to be coming out of that area. They might be driving go-karts, which you can hear from a mile away, but that's one of the big changes. The other is with the rifts, right? And the rifts, basically what those are, is it's sort of used as a free jump pad. Now, personally, whenever someone hits the rifts, whenever you hear that big boom sound, it means someone is around you hitting the rift. You can look up in the sky, the rift will be formed, the crack in the sky, and that's where the person will essentially be jump padding or teleporting out of, and you can sort of keep track of those. Now, what this changed is basically you can use those to make jump pad plays or rotate around the map. But you also have to be a little more aware, because people could be floating down on you at literally any second. So you have to have that audio cranked up and be aware of people, floating down on you. With that, of course, you can hear the sound. But that's happened to me a couple times at the start of the season where I wasn't really paying attention. Maybe I'm just hitting a tree. Next thing you know, someone comes literally out of the sky, out of nowhere. So that's something you have to be a little bit aware of. But those are just the map changes. Those are the small stuff. The real stuff that we have to get into, the meat and potatoes of Season 5, is how shotguns and SMGs are changed. Now, everything has changed, basically. It's not like back in the day where you would always carry 2 shotguns. Nowadays, what you have to carry is you can only carry 1 shotgun. There's literally no point to carrying multiple shotguns in any sort of situation. Even the elusive double heavy is useless nowadays, because what they did is they put a cap on, after you shoot a shotgun, how fast until that next shotgun shoots. So the inventory you're going to want to go with nowadays is going to be your first slot AR, as normal, your second slot shotgun, and then your third one to be some sort of a finishing weapon or a close range melt machine, I guess we could call it. And your options there essentially are the submachine gun, the suppressed submachine gun, or the drum gun. Now, there's good and bad about each. The drum gun is my personal favorite, but the bad thing about the drum gun is that it uses medium ammo. So if I usually have like a good amount of medium ammo, you'll see me always using that drum gun and spraying. The reason why is I feel like it hits harder, even though it has high recoil. It's meant to be used at close range, and the fact is it does high damage, and it has 50 bullets in one clipper magazine, so you don't really have to worry about running out of ammo, and that's why I think the drum gun is the number one there. Then my number 2 pick would be the submachine gun, which is basically the MP5, which is the unsilenced submachine gun, which is really awesome, has a super high fire rate, but it does only have 30 bullets. And then my number 3 pick, which is weird because like literally 1 or 2 weeks ago, this would have been the best submachine gun in the game, the silenced SMG. Now that would be my number 3 pick because essentially that was nerfed a little bit. But that's what you're going to have to know about with this new season. That is the main biggest change, is to be a Fortnite god in this season. You have to be good with SMGs, and you have to make your shotgun shots count. It's more important than ever because you don't get many attempts on them. Now, you're going to wonder, what do I think of the best shotguns? In my personal opinion, I think right now, even though the heavy does the most damage, because of the fact you can only carry one shotgun, or there's only a point to carry one shotgun, I really like to rock with the blue tack. That is right now my favorite shotgun. It probably goes blue tack for me as number 1, then gold heavy, purple heavy. Those are probably second to me. They're all really close there in that top 3, and I've been running pumps a little bit less. If you're going to run a pump, you have to make sure that you take your time with that shot and be sure to hit the headshot, and you also have to make sure that you do have a good finishing weapon, SMG of some sort, to be able to finish them off. You can see in this game I'm running the pump, but that's because I didn't find anything better. You know, I would honestly swap out a blue pump for a green tack nowadays, especially in solos or even squads where you're going to take on multiple enemies, because I feel like if you really can only use one shotgun, the tack gives you multiple attempts, while basically heavy, it has a little bit of a faster time, but that pump is just way too slow to really get multiple shots in. It's basically one shot with the pump, and if you miss, you're SMG only trying to finish people off. Now, that's one thing that I think will really separate players. Like in the past, having a good shotgun shot is really took you to that next level. Nowadays, I think just having that good SMG shot and be able to hit your shots while jumping around and making the enemy miss their shots, because a lot of the gunfights that I have nowadays in Season 5 are me with like an SMG or drum gun against someone else with a shotgun. So I need to do 2 things while doing that. I need to be able to hit my shots while also making sure that they're missing their shotgun shots. So I need to be jumping around while also basically hip firing or spraying and hitting my shots, and that's something that I think you really need to get good at. Now, the last change with Season 5 that is pretty notable, I think the SMG shotgun thing is the biggest deal, and that's why I talked about it for so long. The final circles. A lot of people are confused about this. I know people's changes take a while for everyone to get used to, but basically the final circle in this game, this is more prevalent in solos as well, so if you don't play solo, you might not have noticed it, but basically, the circle doesn't just shrink every single time. It could literally be where the next circle is in the purple or in the storm. And a lot of people have been asking me my opinion on that, and I wasn't quite sure about it, but now they have quite a few wins under my belt for this season. What I think about it is that this gives good players an advantage because players have to move. Of course, it can be unlucky if that circle is on the other side of where you are, but what I suggest to do is as soon as you see where that next circle is going to be, you want to go to the edge of the zone and basically start building up to make sure every single player has to come to you, and it puts that, having the advantage on that storm circle advantage to the next level, because they literally have to come to you, and even though you will have to move as well, bounce pads, jump pads are so much more important to have late game and are so helpful. If you have that advantage where you can basically back off, run into the storm while building and sort of block the person off and make it so if you're getting caught in those storms, they're going to tick you for 10 damage. So even if the enemy takes 4 or 5 ticks, you should be able to win that gunfight every single time, and having that storm circle advantage is such a major key in the late game. Now, this won't affect every single game, but in those games where it's being a bit slower paced, we all know those games where there's like 4 or 5 people left, you really can't find anyone. It is a major key to take advantage of that and to be able to play that. But overall, I think Season 5 is great. I think that it definitely has switched the meta, but good players are still going to be good players. And the fact is that these areas like Paradise Palms and Lazy Links, it's already sort of dying down how many people go there. And I think eventually even, it hasn't even been like a week, right, since it's been like 6 days. So over the next couple weeks, of course, the map is probably going to continue to change as it did in Season 4. And I think that people are going to go back to the traditional areas, Retail Row, Tilted Towers, and a little bit, right now it's cool to go to Paradise Palms. It's a really fun area, but you don't get much action there, and that's why I think people tend to go back into their natural habits after having fun at the start of the season and checking out those areas, and everything should go back to normal with just some slight map changes. But the biggest change is getting used to those final storm circles and how the new inventory works. You have to be good with SMGs, which were weapons that you could just literally ignore before. Now they are super important. Practice with those, use them early game, use them mid game, and even use them late game. They are super awesome. So hopefully this video helped you guys out to get used to what is important in Season 5. I think this video should be able to make you guys better players at Season 5. And of course, I've got way more tips and tricks videos coming. That's sort of the bread and butter on my channel. It's something that I love to do, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. Hope you guys all have an absolutely great night. I uploaded another video earlier if you guys want to check that one out. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Drop a like on this thing. Have a great night, and that's about it, guys. I'm out. Peace.